Are you looking for 8 best things to do in Fort Collins? Like different Colorado cities, the outside rule in Fort Collins, water sports activities fanatics will revel in rafting, tubing or kayaking down the Cashel. A. Poudre River. At the same time as the ones seeking out tamer waters ought to investigate stand-up paddleboarding or boating at Horsetooth Reservoir. Hikers and bikers will discover lots of trails at Horsetooth Mountain Open Space. When you want a wreck from rollicking outside sports, take and clean stroll through the gardens on Spring Creek or the Flower Trial Garden, and irrespective of the way you fill your days, you ought to cap off your evenings at one of the city's many breweries. Here is the list of 8 best things to do in Fort Collins. 1. Horsetooth Reservoir. Originally advanced with inside the 1930s to offer vicinity farmers with a consistent deliver of water for his or her crops, Horsetooth Reservoir is now a one-for-stall keep for outside sports. Here, traffic can hike, motorcycle, and horseback trip across the 6.5-mile reservoir, which sits at an elevation of 420 feet. Alternatively, they are able to make a touch with inside the water itself via way of means of kayaking, swimming, or stand-up paddleboarding. Travelers additionally have the choice to camp on website online in tents or cabins. Past traffic loved their time on the reservoir, pronouncing the paths and water sports are wonderful fun. They additionally praise the surroundings and the perspectives of the reservoir's namesake, Horsetooth Rock. 2. Cashlet Poudre River. The Cashel. A. Poudre River, surely referred to as the Powder by way of means of locals, is Colorado's sole wild and scenic river, as targeted by way of means of the National Wild and Scenic Rivers System. The 76-mile waterway winds down from the Rocky Mountain National Park through Fort Collins. Along the leisure sections of the river, traffic can cross whitewater rafting, tubing, kayaking, and fishing. They may have possibilities to hike, especially alongside the Poudre River Trail, or motorcycle alongside the river. In town, you may get right of entry to the river on the Poudre River Whitewater Park for kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding, and swimming. The 9-acre park has extraordinary river get right of entry to points in addition to drop systems to create waves. However, due to the fact the river has an inconsistent flow, you may want to test the water's intensity at the City of Fort Collins internet site earlier than you cross. Additionally, you may want to hire your water sports activities device from a neighborhood keep and convey it to the park. No leases are to be had on website online. 3. Fort Collins Breweries. More than 20 extraordinary breweries name Fort Collins home, so its simplest makes feel which you ought to strive a number of the neighborhood libations for yourself. Throughout the city, you may discover neighborhood favorites like Gilded Goat Brewing Company, Odell Brewing, and Horse and Dragon Brewing Company, in addition to nationally well-known brewers, including New Belgium and Anheuser-Busch, manufacturers of Budweiser. While you may choose out and select breweries yourself, you may additionally choose a guided excursion. Operators like Magic Bus Tours provide a whole lot of guided excursions with stops at neighborhood breweries. Previous vacationers loved Magic Bus Tours' way to the company's informative guides. You can also be capable of take an excursion at person brewery locations. One such location is Anheuser-Busch, wherein traffic can take an excursion through its brewery and study beer making and the records of Budweiser. Previous shoppers loved the excursion and trace that fortunate traffic might also additionally get to look the company's well-known Clydesdales. 4. Fort Collins Museum of Discovery. This hands-on museum is successful with shoppers, in particular people with kids. Since 2012, the Fort Collins Museum of Discovery has engaged and knowledgeable traffic via way of means of developing considerate famous that element a whole lot of scientific, herbal, and artsy topics. You'll have the threat to study all approximately our sun device and the universe, test with extraordinary musical units, and comply with the improvement of Fort Collins from its legit founding with inside the overdue 1,800 seconds to today. There's additionally the website online Otterbox Digital Dome Theater that has a 39-feet domed screen. It now no longer simplest indicates films, however additionally hosts lectures and state performances. Previous museumgoers referred to as the ability amazing location to spend the day with kids of all ages. They additionally favored the reality that the museum had a few stay animals for customers to study. 2. 5. Horsetooth Mountain Open Space. West of Horsetooth Reservoir lies the 2,711-acre Horsetooth Mountain Open Space. You'll discover greater than 20 trails, every various in period and elevation gain, however all best for trekking. As in delivered bonus, Every path welcomes puppies and lots of permit biking and horseback riding. Your praise for trekking is stunning surroundings that might consist of the namesake Horsetooth Rock in addition to Horsetooth Falls, relying on which path you choose out. After your hike, refuel together along with your packed lunch at one of the picnic areas. Previous hikers loved their tours alongside the paths. They said the experience, as much as Horsetooth Mountain takes a few attempts, however, that the perspectives are really well worth it. They additionally recommend to carry lots of water, in particular if trekking throughout the summer. 6. Gardens on Spring Creek, spanning 18 acres. The gardens on Spring Creek are Fort Collins Botanical Sanctuary. The facility shelters 10 extraordinary gardens, together with a prairie garden, which grows flora local to the prairies, the rock garden that mimics the mountains and grows flowers local to Colorado, and the Garden of Eden, which capabilities of fruit orchards and herbs, amongst different scrumptious suitable for eating flora. There's additionally a children's garden, which has hands-on sports and play areas, in addition to a pavilion that hosts extraordinary styles of occasions. Visitors may also discover a butterfly house on website online that showcases 300 free-flying butterflies and moths in addition to caterpillar displays. The gardens mechanically host some of occasions for locals and tourists, together with workshops, date nights, and excursion festivities for Halloween and Christmas. Recent traffic praised the gardens for his or her beauty. For many, a spotlight turned into the Christmas smile show the gardens erect every year. 7. Flower Trial Garden. Each year, extraordinary plant organizations post their flower seeds to be a part of the Colorado State University's annual Flower Trial Garden, a opposition to decide which cultivars are first-rate suitable to Colorado's climate. Plants need to resist excessive altitude, excessive sun radiation, drying winds, intense hailstorms, massive fluctuations among day and nighttime temperatures, and a season-lengthy want for irrigation, all developing situations in Colorado. There are greater than 1,000 sorts within the opposition which can be planted in both flower beds or in pots. Industry experts compare the flora and decide the winners. Results are then introduced to neighborhood groups in order that Colorado citizens can pick out the hardiest plants to plant of their gardens. The lawn hosts 3 extraordinary trials: annual, perennial, and funky climate. Annual and perennials are planted within the spring and evaluated within the overdue summer. Cool climate cultivars are planted in overdue October and are evaluated in early spring. 8. Jessup Farm Artisan Village. Jessup Farm Artisan Village turned into, in reality, a farm. For a great deal of the 20th century, the Jessup family, observed via way of means of the Johnson family, used the land as an operating farm. When builders bought the land in 2011, they sought now no longer simplest to keep the vicinity's records, however additionally to capitalize at the burgeoning farm-to-desk movement. Now, Jessup Farm Artisan Village gives numerous eateries, a brewery, boutique purchasing, and some provider stores like a barbershop. Previous traffic loved their time on the village and specially desired the preserved farmhouse. Patrons had been additionally complimentary of the website online brewery, pronouncing they loved the beers and the quirky atmosphere. At the equal time, numerous mentioned that the village is small so that you probably might not want to set apart a great deal time to explore.